This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English, episode number 350, baby. Oh yeah. I didn't know today was a kind of special episode. 350, is that special? Should we celebrate that? I'm not sure. Well, we're not really. It's just business as usual. However, an absolutely brilliant podcast, in my opinion, with the one and only Boom Boom Cannon, where we talk about challenges, okay? Challenges that you would do, or would you do? You know, like that old Meatloaf song, I would do anything for love, but I won't do that. Kind of like that. So would you do this, basically? Not for love, just would you do this challenge? Yeah, it's just a stupid conversation like usual. Anyway, I'm really going to stop talking now. I will talk to you at the end. Enjoy the conversation. Happy listening. Boom Boom Cannon, how are you today?
I'm very well, Martin. How are you?
Always fantastic, Boom Boom. Always fantastic. First time we've spoken in a while since our rendezvous in London in December, was that?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, so
2 beers we had.
Was it 2?
Big night. I think it was 2.
Well, because I was just about to say how I then had to cycle home and come back and help with bedtime, and I was quite drunk. So I thought we had at least 10 beers.
I think it was 2, but they could have been.
I think it was 4.
A couple of strong beers.
I think it was 4. It must have been 4.
Two rounds each.
I think 2 rounds each.
That's a big night.
I'm saying 4. I'm saying 4. That's why I was so drunk, or the fact I just don't drink anymore, and 2 beers is enough to get me drunk now. Either one, you choose which one you want to believe. So, Boom Boom, how do we usually start the show?
It's got to be with a review.
Yes. Do you think we have one?
Of course.
Unfortunately not. We have had some brilliant ones, though, recently, and I haven't seen any more. So please remember, if you do leave a review, please send it to me, because I actually cannot see them. There's no other way for me to see them, so please send them to me. So on to today's pod. Now, I sat down at my desk, Boom Boom, I think 7 minutes before we were supposed to meet, and thought, fuck, I've got nothing to talk about. So I used my friend ChatGPT again, and various different commands. I got to the point of setting challenges for yourself. Okay, so I've got a list of challenges, like personal challenges, and we have to just talk about them and see, do you think you could actually do this? Okay.
So did you ask ChatGPT just for a suggestion for the podcast, and this is what it gave you?
Kind of, yeah. I can't remember how the conversation went. We were lost in conversation. ChatGPT is honestly my best friend now. And it actually responds to me now, because we know each other. We've got such a great relationship.
Yeah, it sort of remembers what you've asked previously.
Yeah, and it's always rubbish. So it kind of responds to me in this humorous... ChatGPT is hilarious. So much funnier than you, Boom Boom.
See, I'm mainly asking it when I use it questions related to my research. I feel like it takes me a bit more seriously, where it just sees you as this sort of comedy character.
Well, maybe it's because it's kind of like a reflection of you as a character. So ChatGPT reflects me, and it's like a really hilarious kind of guy, and then reflects you, and it's just some boring person talking about sustainability.
I think I'd say. I do talk to it a lot about sustainability.
Exactly. So there we go. Right. Okay. So away from the serious stuff like sustainability, and so the challenges. So this first challenge, okay, take a cold shower every morning for a week. Okay. Do you think you could do this? Have you ever done this? Have you ever done like a proper cold shower?
I've never. I don't think, not by choice.
Right.
I'm thinking back to our Benicassim showers.
I hadn't thought about this, but that popped into my mind. A music festival we went to in Spain. We were camping, weren't we? And they had showers, and they were freezing cold, weren't they?
Yeah, but it was Spain, so it was warm. We'd had an incredibly sweaty night's sleep in a tent.
But still, you're making out now that
it was like we all wanted it. I remember kind of like we would do one by one, screaming like girls, going, "Oh, it's so cold!" None of us enjoyed that.
No, no, we didn't. So yeah, that challenge sounds like a tough one. But I think if push came to shove, I could just about cope. Yeah.
I don't think you're man enough, Boom Boom. I don't think you are man enough. I have tried this. I did go through a phase of kind of doing this, but it was called a contrast shower. So you'd have really cold, then really hot. But I needed that really hot bit to recover from the cold bit. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it was
Well,
too
we're
much.
quite fans of that kind of process here in Sweden because that's the basis on which you use a sauna.
Right.
And then the one here you can just get straight into the sea, which is generally very, very cold. Or there is this kind of like with a bucket of cold water over your head type thing.
It's like the ice bucket challenge.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, it's this bucket and you pull a lever and this cold water falls over you. So then with the hot cold, that can be pretty nice.
Yeah, no, I agree. On that ice bucket challenge, I'd forgotten about that, and I actually remember getting nominated for that. And the whole thing was just too wacky for me. I didn't want to be doing this, so I actually the person nominated me, and then I just kind of pretended I hadn't seen that post where he had nominated me, and then I remember him writing directly on my wall saying, like, "Why won't you do this for charity?" And I was like,
"Why do you hate charity?"
Why are you such a horrible person? Oh God, absolutely.
Yeah. I remember nominating you during a COVID period where one of the things that went round was running 5K and donating. You probably weren't best pleased when I nominated you for that either way.
I wasn't, but at least it wasn't. It's the wackiness which I don't like. I didn't have to like make a complete fool of myself and say, "Oh look, I'm throwing this bucket of water on my head." But yeah, I wasn't massively pleased about that. So one of the things though on this list was run a marathon, a challenge. But so on the marathon one, that is something I would not be able to do because I really struggled with that 5K. I remember. That was really tough. Running for me, my body's just not. I'm not a runner. What about you, Boom Boom? Do you think you could run a marathon, or have you?
I've run a marathon.
You have, bloody hell.
Yeah, last year.
God.
Copenhagen Marathon.
Copenhagen. Wow.
It was not a lot of fun, I would say.
Right.
So I wouldn't recommend it necessarily. The training's horrible.
Did you do it for charity or just for you?
No, just for me. I hate charity.
Fuck charity.
Just for me, purely selfish.
Right.
Yes, it was hard.
In fact, one of the reasons I actually came up with this idea, I was going to mention this on the family podcast, but I don't think this person's going to listen to this, is because last night I was scrolling through Facebook, saw someone that I used to work with, and she put on that she's running a marathon, and she put on all these like pictures of like waking up and running in the dark, and I was impressed by this, and so I gave her the thumbs up, but then I hadn't finished the post, and then when I got to the end of the post, it said, "I'm doing this for charity. Can you sponsor me?" And I thought, well, I've given her the thumbs up now, so she knows I've read it. So I've got to sponsor her. Again, it was kind of like a fuck charity thing, but I was like, oh, for fuck's sake! I just
You went too early with a thumbs up.
I am very stingy with a thumbs up. It takes a lot to get a thumbs up from me. But I thought, you know what, she deserves this. Like, she waking up, running all these things, preparing for this marathon. I'll give her the thumbs up. But then it was, please sponsor me. So then it cost me £10.
You went for a tenner.
I went for a tenner. I think that's a safe
Yeah.
bet. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
But then when you do this, the charity always fucks you over and says, I never really understand it. If you pay an extra £1 or like, then we don't pay tax or something like that. Again, so they've kind of got you over a barrel. And it's like,
so 10 becomes 11.
11.70. Okay.
I thought Okay, it's something? Yeah, I remember this tax. You have to be a UK taxpayer, don't you?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a couple of since I moved where then I can't click that
Oh, right. Okay.
anymore.
Well, I don't really properly read it because there's lots of boring small print. But the message I get is, give us an extra £1.70 or you're a bastard. That's it doesn't say that on the website, obviously. You'll be
That's what they're
surprised to hear.
implying. Yeah.
But that's the message that I get from that. But
well, you've learned a lesson there. Don't go early with the thumbs up.
Yeah, never give anyone a thumbs up. I would say you're quite stingy with a thumbs up as well, Boom Boom. Am I right?
In general, on
social media.
Sort of social media, yeah, I'm not sort of particularly reacting to social media. I do quite like a thumbs up, as we've discussed before, in like WhatsApp. But I've reduced that since you told me that it came across as passive aggressive. So.
Yeah, I've mentioned a few times. It's just kind of like, shut up now, in my opinion. It's got to the point. Yeah, it's got to the point of, in my opinion, it's if you just give just a thumbs up. Something that I might like is something like, okay, see you tomorrow, thumbs up. Okay, there's more to that. But if you just give me a thumbs up, it's like he can't be bothered.
Sort of shut up.
I mean nothing to him. Well, now because you can even respond not with the thumbs up emoji, you just like thumbs up the message, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
That's even more.
On the sort of the reaction to the that's even more. You think?
I think so.
Let's stop talking.
Yeah, I think so. But on the flip side to that, whenever it pops up on social media, Russell Cannon likes your post, I think like that's a real thumbs up, that one.
Okay,
it means so much more.
Yeah, he's not chucking them around willy-nilly.
Absolutely not. So yeah, when I get one of those, I'm like, oh, that must have been a great post. Although I have noticed that you might only give a thumbs up if you're mentioned, because it'll be something like,
all right, with
Boom Boom.
Yeah, I can't deny that. That does influence whether I give it one or not. But I feel like there's also certain types of posts. It depends, like ones where people involve, say, sort of children. You know, I feel like
you're obliged to.
You're obliged. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, social media, hey. So changing the subject quite a lot. This one, it's not, I suppose, that much of a challenge, kind of, depending on who you are. Donate blood. Have you ever done this?
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times.
Yeah. How did you feel after this? Because
2 or 3 times. Yeah.
If I have a blood test, I had a blood test recently because I honestly thought I was dying. Basically, I'd woken up with a headache, and I honestly thought I was dying. I was like, "This is it. This is the end." And so I went to the doctor and was like, "Look, I think I'm dying."
With a headache. Did he say what are your symptoms? And you said there's a headache.
And I was like,
and it's probably a headache then.
And then I think just to try and keep me happy, he sent me for a blood test. Honestly, I had that, and I thought, I'm definitely going to die now. So the idea
of blood test.
From the blood test. Well, I actually feel dizzy. Like I remember the first blood test I ever had, and I was walking out of the hospital.
Yeah.
And then thought I was going to faint and had to sit down at the side of the road. And that hasn't changed. So the idea of donating blood, again, I would like to do that to make me feel like a good person, but it's not possible. So talk me through when you gave blood. How did you feel?
Well, I felt okay. I've done it I feel like I should have done it more, really. Well, I should have done, because I don't sort of have much issue with it. So there's no, and once you do it, they also send you quite a lot of messages saying, we need more blood, or we're after your blood type, please come back. But yeah, no, I felt okay. I mean, it's not obviously a lot of fun when they're first putting the needle in, and I try not to look at it too much. I sort of
I actually close my eyes because same. Yeah.
And then you see the pouch. You can see the pouch of blood.
No, that's the part where I would be a goner then.
Yeah, and it is, but it's okay. Actually, going back to the charity thing, I remember the last time the last time I went, because the way they do it here is you get a gift for doing it.
A good gift?
Well, I mean, maybe it's like a water bottle,
right,
or a tote bag, or these kind of things. But still, I'm giving them something. It's good to get something back. And so the nurse sort of walked me, sort of passed the gifts first before I was giving blood, and she said, "Oh, and these are the selection," and they vary from each time, so you don't know what's it going to be today.
So like a Kinder Egg.
Yeah, Kinder Egg. But there can be some good stuff, and she sort of talked me through them, and then said, "Or you can donate your gift to charity."
Oh God!
So obviously, I just immediately crumbled and said, "Yeah, give it to charity."
It's bloody charity. They're taking everything, aren't they? Yeah, what can you do?
Because again,
there?
you can't say no. What you can't really say no. I would actually really like that plastic water bottle, so I deserve that more than charity does. So yeah, didn't get my gift, and then went and gave the blood.
Oh, I didn't even get a
it was
gift
okay.
for it. You didn't even get a plastic water bottle.
No,
I mean,
you do get here
unbelievable.
quite a good selection of food and drink afterwards, though, because they make
Okay.
sure you sit down for a while. And then
Right.
I remember when I did it in England, it was like a carton of Ribena and a packet of crisps.
A meal deal from Boots.
Basically, yeah, pretty like a crisps from a multi-pack, and a Ribena. But here there was a whole sort of almost buffet. So
Oh right, okay.
that was pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when people talk about English food, I think it's just the culture as well, isn't it? Of like, for example, something like that, you would expect some more food than that, and even like crisps and stuff. Like, I think it's so much bigger than just the actual food that people eat at home. It's just a cultural thing of just thinking about, oh fuck it, just give him
Crisps.
a bag of crisps.
Crisps will do.
That's all right, isn't it? That's a meal.
Yeah, definitely.
Like just that idea of just give him some crisps.
I mean, the whole meal deal concept, I think, is very British.
I totally agree with that. And the thing is, but people think like that. That's like, oh, brilliant! I'm getting a meal deal. So for people that don't know, a meal deal is, so what is it? A sandwich, which I am not a fan of those sandwiches at all. A bag of crisps and a drink. Is that
I'd
right?
say that's the classic. Depending
Yeah.
on where you go, you can get some more variety. Like Boots are offering quite a good sort of variety on that. But yeah, your classic is sandwich, crisps, and a drink.
But yeah, that just sums it up, doesn't it? That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
But there we go. But on that thing of choosing gifts, so just before Christmas, actually, I went to a toddler R&R, her nursery Christmas party, and they did a raffle, and then so what? I think basically all the kids end up winning something, but so they called like her name out, and then I went with her to choose a gift, and like they had like some toys, but they also had like some envelopes of like a £50 voucher to
I
go
see
somewhere.
where this is going.
and then I'm obviously said, get that envelope. Like, that's really good. But obviously for a 3-year-old, an envelope doesn't look very exciting. But then like a blue shitty toy that probably cost about £3. She's like, no, I want that toy. Fucking get the envelope. It's 50 quid in there.
Buy loads of toys with that.
Exactly. Like, come on. No, and then she's like, crying, okay, take that fucking stupid toy then. And you're coming back fuming.
I feel like they know what they're doing there.
Yeah.
Putting that in the envelope. Like technically it's there, but none of the children want it.
Exactly. Oh God, this is so annoying. But there we go. Okay, so this podcast actually seems to be all about charity. I might have to change the name of this, which wasn't the intention at all. But anyway, so the next one is volunteer for a local charity. Have you ever done this?
Okay.
I can see you're thinking now. I haven't, but I want to try and say yes, because I want to try and give this impression I'm such a great guy. I've already given blood. I've run a marathon. So yeah, I'm always there.
Pretty hard
food.
here. I feel like I must have done at some point. It's the sort of thing I do, isn't it? Come on.
It is, but we can't base it on that. Boom, boom. Okay, actions speak louder than words. You can't say it's the type of thing I would do. So yeah, that's a yes.
Okay, I'm gonna have to say no to that for the time being, but I'm gonna maybe send you a message later when I've thought of something.
Okay, so we are going to stop the conversation there, and it's going to continue tomorrow in the R&R family membership area, where it will be episode number 800 tomorrow in the family membership area. Plus, obviously, there are hundreds of other podcasts as well in the family membership area. There are more than 1,000 in total, including the other types of podcasts that are there. Anyway, I'm not going to go into detail. So yes, Boom Boom, by the way, does think of a time he has volunteered. So family members, you have that to look forward to. So on to today's vocabulary. I mentioned that I hadn't seen Boom Boom since our rendezvous in London. Now that, I imagine, is a French word, and I'm sure us English people absolutely disgust French people with the way we say that with our English pronunciation. But in England, that is a thing. That is how we say it. A rendezvous, which is a kind of really fancy word to say a meeting. And then Boom Boom was talking about the cold showers and saying that, you know, when we were in Benicassim in Spain, it was really hot. So I said, you're making out as if we enjoyed the showers. So you're making it seem as if we enjoyed them when we definitely didn't. And then Boom Boom said, if push came to shove, I could just about cope with a cold shower. So that's a lovely term. If push came to shove, basically meaning if I really had to. He said I could just about cope. I could just about manage, even though I think that's not true. I said I'm stingy with a thumbs up. So I don't often give people thumbs ups on social media because I am stingy, not generous with thumbs up. And Boom Boom mentioned when he nominated me to run 5 kilometres, I wasn't best pleased. A lovely term to say not happy. He said you were not best pleased. And I said then when you sponsor people in the UK and then it says just add this extra bit of money so we don't need to pay tax. I said they've got you over a barrel. If someone has you over a barrel, basically you have no choice and you have to say yes, okay, that's fine. Boom Boom then said how I told him the thumbs up is passive aggressive. This is a really common term in the UK now. So passive aggressive means it's aggressive when you don't really mean to be aggressive. Now, thumbs up is not actually aggressive. It's just, in my opinion, if you just give someone a thumbs up, if I say, I don't know, did you enjoy today's podcast? And you just respond with a thumbs up, I'm a bit disappointed. I think, they could have given me more, even just a yes. So that's my opinion, but the term passive aggressive is a really common thing. And Boom Boom said, yeah, he's not throwing thumbs ups, I suppose, around willy-nilly. An absolutely brilliant term to say. You just give these things out without thinking about it. Some people say, for example, in the UK now, they make people like a sir. They just give out these titles willy-nilly without you really needing to do anything to actually deserve the title. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But it's a very informal term, but also a very funny term. Then Boom Boom mentioned how when he gave blood, they said, you can have this gift or you can give it to charity. So he said, I immediately crumbled. So when you crumble, you just say, okay, whatever you said. That is to crumble, to not be strong and say, no, but I want this. It's just to say, okay, I'll just give it to charity. That is to crumble. And that is it for today's vocabulary. So I will see family members tomorrow for the continuation of the podcast, and I will see everyone else in a week or maybe 2. So thanks a lot for listening. I will talk to you very soon. But in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.